Hi, I'm James Gill with Gill Nursery. We had a lot of frost damage around town, and certainly in the outlying areas even more. And people are panicked about it. It's not that big a deal. It's happened before. There's going to be a few plants that are lost. Most of these plants have got some damage. It just needs to be pruned away. And it's a little early to prune right now. I shouldn't say that. It's okay to go ahead, but it's not at all too late if you wait till the end of January. I'm going to show you how to detect where the damage is. This is just going to be a real short thing. So check on our website, gillnursery.com. We're going to have a little seminar on pruning sharpening your pruning tools. And then also I'm going to give a talk on get ready for spring, which I'll go into much more depth about pruning as well as other things. Hibiscus looks dead. I scratched the bark. That is not a good healthy green. So this wood is dead. Come down a little farther. Bark just flakes away. This wood is dead. Come down farther still. Farther still. Well, doggone it. I don't get to good green until I'm all the way down here close to the ground. So this plant is going to need to be cut back very severely. But it is alive down there at the ground, and it will regrow. Lots of tropical palms to worry about. This areca palm, you can see it's had quite a bit of damage. Don't be in a rush to cut away these leaves, because if the palm is still alive, it will recycle some nutrients out of these leaves. So it's better to leave it for several more weeks before you prune. You're not really going to be able to check this one in the same way. What you'll do is just watch for new growth, and periodically you can come out and you can grab the spear, which is this newest leaf that's not unfolded yet. It's coming out of the center, and just give it a little tug. If it slips out of there, that means the palm has a frozen heart, which is dead, and it will not produce any more leaves. So this one still has got a good chance of being okay. You're just going to have to wait and see, and you can tug on that center spear, find out. We've got Cuban rolls here, and obviously we've got a lot of damage. I have high hopes for these palms being okay, but once again, there's nothing to do. You don't need to prune these off at this point. You're just going to watch, hope you get a healthy new spear rising out of the heart. If you're concerned, you climb up there on a ladder and grab that center spear, pull it up. If it slips out, then it's dead. That's not going to happen yet. That's going to be several weeks before we get to that point. Blue plumbago, or at least it was blue before the freeze. Severe damage. I can tell all these little stems are dead, but on a much larger plant, you do the same thing. You'd start out here and scratch, 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 until you get to a nice bright green underneath the bark, and that's the point where you're going to have to trim it back. I'm sure that this plant is not dead, and that your plumbago at home is not dead, unless maybe it's in a pot. It's just going to need some cutting back. Cutting out all that old dead stuff. And it's hard to believe, but this is going to come back and make a pretty plant again. Okay, bougainvillea, certainly some damage. I remember when I was a kid, back in the 50s, 60s, my mom would cut the bougainvilleas to the ground every year because they were dead, just almost to the ground. This is not that bad. It looks bad. There's going to be some dead on the tips. But once again, when I scratch it, I can see a nice green color. That means this plant is alive at this point. Okay, so we've got a Jatropha here, beautiful tropical plant. Well, at least it was before the freeze. And it is severely damaged. Once again, I check. You know, that green doesn't look too bad. I may be okay at this point. It's still early. It's still just a week past the freeze. So some of this may turn brown. But that's how I know, is I scratch away the bark and look for some nice bright green underneath. Date palm looks pretty sad. I'll bet it's going to be okay though. I imagine all these leaves are going to die, but don't be in a hurry to take them off. I look down in the center and it looks fairly firm, So I really think this palm's going to come back okay. So things in your yard probably look a lot worse than they are. Most of those damaged plants are going to come back. A few of them will be dead. We have our tool sharpening seminar coming up real quick, and then how to prune in much more detail after that. Check our website. And if some of your plants are dead or some of your plants are just so beaten down that you're not willing to wait, well, guess what? We've got lots of beautiful plants here right now ready for you here at Gill Nursery.